You work both with traditional Chinese medicine and Western herbalism systems. What, in your opinion, is sort of maybe the main difference between these two systems? And how well do they work together? And is there a system of herbalism that you prefer?
Okay.
I know you use both of them and kind of combine them.
Yeah. Yeah. In a very schizophrenic way. Yes. Well, when I studied at the California school, it was very much a Western herbalism approach, using herbs in the context of body systems. So you learned about all the body systems, then you learned about what herbs have an affinity for that body system, and then you look at different diseases that affect the lungs, affect the gastrointestinal tract, and then what are the herbs that would address that. And when I started practicing, I was sort of using that approach. I would talk to people, try to figure out like what body system is struggling, what do I need to do to support it. I just felt like it was a very limited approach. There was so much going on with people. And Jennifer, you and I were talking earlier about the importance of making the body mind connection, especially with chronic health issues. And so I would see people and I would notice that there was this whole dimension or this whole pattern that they were presenting that I didn't even really know how to describe, but I was seeing it. I didn't know how to integrate into what I was doing with the herbs. I met this herbalist. Well, actually, it was even before I met Althea. I met this woman, and she was an herbalist in Manhattan. You did Chinese medicine, Chinese herbalism, and traditional Chinese medicine, rather. And she was asking me what my approach was. And I said, well, I kind of a Western herbal body systems approach. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I was like, what do you mean you're sorry to hear that? What does that mean? And then when I started working with Althea and I learned about the five elements and I learned about the way, and there's a lot about traditional Chinese medicine that I will never know. It's a huge lineage of information. The whole idea that there's patterns of people's personality that can also be out of balance when a certain body system is. So when they're having digestive system problems, they have trouble taking in and integrating information. That those pieces go together. And when you see one, you usually see the other. And the whole idea of seasonal rhythms at different times of year, different health issues would be significant, and that needed to be sort of integrated into the approach. It's like, what season is it? What do we need to prioritize during winter? That sort of thing. And when I learned all of that, it was like I had been seeing it, but I didn't have a language for talking about it. And when I started studying five elements, it was like, oh my God, thank you. Somebody else figured all this out.